Yes, hello, you are welcome to Further Together.
Enriching relationships, creating a better future.
Yes, we want to welcome you. If you are joining us for the first time, we want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for joining us. And if you are coming here as a regular, we want to say thank you for coming back. Your friends here, Kudzie and Priscilla. We are here every Thursday with a topic or a guest, and we feel honored to be back. We have a number of things lined up as Further Together, apart from the Facebook lives that we do every Thursday. We also have mentorship programs. We have the pre-marriage course, and we also have date nights that we do. And if you want to be part of us, you can join us. You can see the packages right here on our Facebook page as well as on our Instagram page. Please, summer is around. If you're in the UK, let's utilize it. It's time for us to enjoy married life.
Yeah.
So let's do it together. Could you please share with friends and family so that they benefit? And if you want us to make a shout out, show us where you are and who you are. Yes, Lorraine, how are you? It's good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you do comment right on Facebook, it will be easier for us to see you. Unfortunately, if you're commenting on YouTube, sometimes it does come later on. We won't be able to see the comments right here straight away sometimes. So let's get into it. And today we are speaking about 5 behaviors
that destroy relationships.
And we want to say that these behaviors, in as much as they are more damaging to marriages or love relationships, but if you do them as well as at your workplace and even just in general relationships, they do damage. So these things that we are going to say today, in as much as they are more applicable in a relationship, they are also applicable in daily lives. And I want to say that these 5 things, they are not an exhaustive list of the things that do damage. There are a number of them, but we just chose these 5 as the main ones, which we have discovered in our mentorship programs, in our interventions, that these are some of the things that do hinder progress in marriages.
Lumonga Mukazi, thank you so much for joining us. To kindly help us to share and let other people be a part of what we're going to speak about tonight. And if you have noted other behaviors that you think are damaging for relationships, do kindly throw them in so that we also can be impacted by what you have to share with us tonight.
Yes, we want to also apologize that we were supposed to have a guest this week, but unfortunately our guest couldn't make it. So next week we are having a guest, and we'll be speaking about honeymoon. So let's get ready. And next week is going to be fire as well as what is taking over from where we are living tonight.
Absolutely. So we're going straight into it. The 5 habits or the 5 behaviors that can destroy marriages. So the first point that we have tonight is nagging. What do you call it? Nagging and excessive criticism.
The Bible says it is better for a man to sleep on top of the roof than to live with a nagging wife. This is the Bible.
Yeah.
It is better to live on top of the roof or to sleep on top of the roof than to live with a nagging wife. And nagging, what is it?
For me, what I find a lot with nagging is that your spouse is repeatedly, demanding certain things. They've communicated, sometimes it's what you want for your spouse to do. They've communicated with you, but they are consistently, repeatedly complaining about it, nagging about it, just making you be on the urge about that particular thing. And I know that sometimes, when you're nagging, you don't realize that you're nagging. You're thinking that, I'm just passing information to my spouse, or maybe I want my spouse to do something. I'll just give an example for us women. Probably say, Kudzie, go, can you please take the bin out? And when I consistently, repeatedly, speak about it, take the bin out. Why are you not taking the bin out? I'm using questions. If you don't take the bin out, you know what will happen? And consistently be in your ear about it. When I know that I communicated a few times and you've heard it, that is nagging.
And there are in nagging, there are some questions that somebody do ask and they do not need answers. If you don't do it, who do you think is going to do this? How do you think life is going to go with this? The person is not expecting any answer, but they are posing questions.
Yes.
Then on that, the flip side of it is excessive criticism.
Yeah.
And one of the scholars who studied marriage so much for the past 40 years, they've been studying marriage, is John Gottman, Dr. John Gottman. He speaks about 4 horsemen of
the apocalypse.
Yeah, and these 4 horsemen, he says they are pointers for divorce.
Yeah.
And one of them is criticism.
Yeah.
Criticism is a point whereby you are
just finding
fault in your spouse.
And you're not just finding fault, you are criticizing, you're talking about it. You are not good enough. This is not done properly. And you know what? That's, for me, I don't think I can thrive. I don't think there's anybody that can thrive in that environment where they are constantly being criticized. And this goes outside, couple relationship, be it with your children, consistently and excessively criticizing your child or your friend, that relationship will not last. Criticism, it's a no for relationships.
And in our married life, we have noted it in a number of times. It's very unfortunate. There's a couple now, they are no longer together. But when we went to sit with them, we could tell that there was a lot of criticism from the husband, and
the whole conversation,
that was a predictor of divorce. We were with them for 30-45 minutes. He was even criticizing, oh, look at the phone that you took,
criticizing the phone, criticizing the job, criticizing
the way you do things,
the dressing,
she brought
everything.
Food, and the guy was criticizing the food. So from there we could tell that this relationship is not going anywhere. Why? Because there is a lot of criticism. Sometimes it's criticizing your background, criticizing your family, criticizing the things that you do value. We got 2 different values, myself and Priscilla. So what I value, if you criticize them over and over again, I feel like, you know what, I don't think it's worth being in here.
And I want to add as well that, sometimes people criticize in a very subtle way, where instead of, you're complimenting maybe another person, but you're indirectly saying that I'm criticizing your dressing by complimenting another person. That dress
maybe
is probably
over.
The way
and sometimes it's
like.
over complimenting, exaggerating how the other person, how the other person is dressed. So you are like
this is the way, you're looking at somebody else and you're saying, this is the wife. This is the wife,
Can you see this?
And you're indirectly criticizing your spouse. You're indirectly telling them that I don't like the way you dress. So criticism, nagging, and I think Coach Pam highlighted that. Yes,
she says nagging, it's continuously reminding your spouse about something irritating, I guess. You keep on in their skin.
And I know, yes, sometimes ladies, you feel like I've spoken to you, because many times we speak to guys or to our men, the things are not done immediately. Sometimes I can say, babe, can you please change the light bulb? It may not be done immediately. And we just have to be patient.
Men, we are like God. You have been praying for so long for something and God hasn't answered you. So you expect me to just do it today.
So it is
I've got the DNA of God, don't I? Yeah, you have been praying, God, give me this. And God is saying, my daughter, I hear you. Wait, I will do it in due season.
And I know, yes, there's some people who say if you don't nag this person, he's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it. But nagging is not the way. Effective communication is the way. Don't consistently or persistently keep saying the same thing, because the person will be like, you know what, I would rather not even go there.
Yes.
Otherwise, I would just be annoyed.
Yes. Maria Kane, how are you, my darling? Pastor Norbert, it's good to see you. Audrey Fadzi, it's good to see you. Dennis Hichena, my in-law, it's good to see you, sir.
Sis Angie, thank you for joining us.
You.
Good to see you tonight.
So
do throw them in if you've got any behaviors that you think are destructive in relationships. So number one was nagging and excessive criticism. The second one that we have is dishonesty.
Relationships, they are built upon trust and transparency. And dishonesty fosters cheating. Dishonesty comes with lying. Those are the cousin brothers of dishonesty, cheating and lying. And whenever those things are there, it's easier for external relationships. It's easier for other things that we do not want in relationships to creep in. So we have to be very, very careful of dishonesty. Sometimes dishonest doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not giving you the information.
But you're not saying much.
I'm saying a lot without saying much. So dishonest people, they can say a lot without saying much. They can tell you that I've been there and there and there and there, but they don't tell you exactly
the real stuff that you want to hear.
Happened. So you tell me about how you drove to Birmingham and you saw these people, but you're not telling me that there's one person whom you saw and you were attracted to them. So let's get there. Let's get into the group. A lot of information, quantity of words without quality.
And this is so damaging. And like what you mentioned, that you find infidelity creeping in when somebody is dishonest, to the extent that sometimes people they don't even just want to let you know where they are. You say, you know what, babe, where are you? They can be so dishonest. I'm at a friend's house.
Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't say that. They just say, I'm coming.
Or they'll say, I'm like 50. I'm like an hour away. But the question is, where are you? Where are you?
And I know men, they struggle with this. Where are you? It's a DNA from Adam. You know, God asked Adam, where are you? And Adam didn't tell God that I'm behind the rock and say, I heard your voice. And I was afraid. And I'm hiding.
It's in the Bible.
It's there in the Bible. It's there in the Bible. Boss, I mean, the thing is, tomorrow you say you don't speak about the Bible. We're speaking about the Bible. So sometimes the man is asked, where are you? Say, babe, I'll be coming very soon. Give me an hour. No, I don't want to give you an hour. I just want to know, where are you? Be accountable. Be honest. Just tell me.
Yes. The third point is rigidity. Rigidness. And with this one, a lot of the times, you know, people are just unable to yield or to appreciate. They are difficult, headstrong. Like very, very hard to deal with.
Headstrong. And the problem with headstrong people is when you reach a point whereby there is intervention, it's difficult to point exactly where they have gone wrong, because they do point the record of the past. They are like the devil. That's why the devil is very difficult. They're ever pointing at the past wrongs. Oh, you know, they once did this and did this and did this and did this. Is that right? What they did? We are not talking about what they did. What they did in the past. Let's deal with what's happening right now. So headstrong is one habit, rigidity. Yes, that's the headstrong. That do not foster, you know, a good relationship.
Now with marriage, we all know that it works with compromise. I can't have it my way all the time. You know, I would love to just say, let's do it my way. You know, that would be every person's desire. But with marriage, you've got to compromise. And there's so many things I've had to compromise with, you know.
You think you're the only one? I'm compromising too.
Yeah, and that's what marriage is about. There's so many things that we've had to give up.
Yeah.
I'll give an example. Like, you know what? When we first got married, I was not used to, being accountable. When I finish work, just checking on you and say, babe, I finished work. I'm making my way home. And I remember one day you were saying one day I totally forgot that I had a husband at home. I was
Can you imagine?
I totally forgot. I was newly married, yeah, and I was used to, living by myself with my brothers. And then I just found myself. I finished work. I went to see a friend, and before you know it, it was like 6 o'clock. And I think about 3 hours later, and you were calling me. You're like, babe, where are you? And I'm like, oh, that's when I realized that I actually didn't let you know that I was going to a friend's house, and I was not accountable. And like what I'm saying now is that I had to compromise to know that, with marriage comes accountability.
Yep.
I can't just finish work and visit a friend without letting my spouse know.
Yeah.
But rigid people, it's their way and nothing else. I'm not bending.
This is who I am.
This is who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not moving. I'm not stretching. So you meet me where I am, and there's no compromise whatsoever.
They are the children of God. The same yesterday, today, and forever. They don't change.
Good enough.
Number four.
Number four. This one. Sorry guys, but this one. A lot of women do say that their husbands or their spouses, they act single while they're in a relationship.
Yeah.
And again, I would first touch on even when you're still dating, you're in courtship. You haven't married yet, but you're in courtship.
Yeah, you have a strong relationship.
You have a strong relationship, yeah,
to marriage. So,
and you're still finding yourself on dating apps. What are you doing there? You're acting single when you're actually in a relationship. Yes, you are not married, but you're courting somebody, meaning you're saying this relationship will eventually lead to marriage
at any time. And yet you are still hunting.
Yes. So my Kiki is saying hello, guys. Yes, hello, my Kiki. So acting single while you're in marriage or in a relationship is a bad behavior that destroys relationships.
And the word that we use there is the word boundaries. Once there are no boundaries in a relationship, anyone can come in. It's just like if there is no boundary at your yard, you can't blame the cat from next door pooing in your garden. Because you did not put boundaries, you did not put a hedge, you didn't put a fence. So let's put fence.
Yes, and with acting single, sometimes it's not just acting single; it's talking like you're single.
Yeah, flirting
with girls, flirting with men, and sometimes people around you don't know you're married. Why? Because you're acting single, and to the extent that sometimes people be like, "What? We didn't know you're married. We didn't know this person is married.
Oh, we didn't know you're engaged."
Yes. Why? Because they are acting single. And as part of acting single as well is choosing, prioritizing your friends over your spouse.
Yes.
So choosing to spend a lot of time with your friends, be it going to a lot of big boys, holidays, parties, whatsoever. We know that we all need our own outlets where I go out with my friends, you go out. But if you're prioritizing your friends over your spouse, you're acting single.
Yeah.
Because when you're married, your spouse becomes your priority.
Yes. So number one, nagging
and excessive criticism.
Number two, dishonesty. And number three, rigidity. Headstrong. Number four,
acting single.
Somebody says, but one can be in a long-term relationship, and if there are no signs of commitment, surely one can look elsewhere. Yes, if there are no signs of commitment, let it be, communicated.
Yeah.
Let it be communicated. We once said it that you know, of course,
Yeah.
We dated for 8 years, but we were in courtship. Sorry, we were in courtship for 8 years,
Yeah.
and our courtship is not a barometer for marriages.
Yes.
We were young. We
There
were
were
very
so
young.
many factors.
And
We
I
started
wouldn't
dating
think,
young.
and
Yeah.
I wouldn't think if I met Priscilla at the age of 27, would have dated for, would have been courtship for
For 8 years.
8 years.
No.
We would date for 3 days, courtship for 3 months, then we get married.
Yes.
Am I? One of our daughters say, "Am I a degree? You want to take me?
You want to
start me for 8 years. You want to
Yeah.
take me for 7 months, and we are in courtship for 7 years.
No.
All together, 7 months, 7
Don't
years.
follow us. We were in courtship for so long because of the factors that
Yes.
we were young and all that stuff. But if you're in a long-term relationship and there are no signs of commitment, then it's a red flag.
Call it a day.
Call it a day.
Be free.
Set yourself free.
Free yourself.
Yeah.
Don't have guilty conscience going somewhere and thinking, oh, this person, what if they see this? No. My guy, we have been here for a long time and we found like we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
See you.
Yeah.
You have reached your destination.
Yes.
Yes.
Pastor Conciliate.
Your spouse is your main job.
Exactly.
Did you hear that? Look at me. Look at me. Yeah, I'm your main job.
That's why I'm working you every day. Yes, that's a good one. Your spouse is your main job. Thank you for sharing. This is ING, Pastor Conciliate. Do throw in any comments if you have some. All of us will benefit from those. And the last one that we have for tonight is pride. Now, I was a very proud girl growing up. And thank God for saving me. Thank God for delivering me. Thank God that I didn't get in marriage with that behavior, with that prideful behavior. And I always share a lot of the times that one of the things that I couldn't do because I was so proud was to apologize.
Yeah.
When we were in courtship, I could not apologize. I won't say through it all. In some stages of our courtship, before God started the work in me, I could not apologize for anything.
Yeah.
And imagine being in a relationship, being in marriage with such a person. Very, very distractful.
There's a proverb that I like so much, which is in the book of Proverbs. It says, pride comes before falling. And our topic tonight are behaviors. Behaviors, 5 behaviors that destroy relationships.
Yes.
So if you see, if you identify pride in a relationship, that it means that relationship is about to crumble.
Yeah.
Because proud people, they don't have regard for anyone.
Yeah.
They know everything.
Yeah.
There are many gods. Everything is surrounded upon them.
Yeah.
So if you say A, they say B, C, D, E, F, G up to Z. And you can never correct a proud person because they are always right. And there is nothing as difficult as having somebody who is always right. Because if they are always right, it means you are always wrong.
Yes.
And nobody wants to live in a relationship where they feel they are always wrong.
Yeah.
Proud people, they criticize. Proud people, they nag. Proud people can act single because they know how to do it. They have shoulders high, they are puffed up.
Yeah.
And now, the book of Corinthians says, love is not puffed up.
Yeah.
Does not keep the record of wrong. Proud people, they keep the record of wrong because once you wrong them,
score of mistakes.
They look at you and they ask you and who? You and me, because they are seeing themselves as superhuman.
Yeah, and when they're looking at you, you are less of a human being. You are not equal with them. You are just inferior. Why? Because they are proud.
I know what you're thinking. Proud people always know what you think before you even say it. So they know how to silence you. They have these big words, big grammar to silence you.
And if you can't, and this one is quite interesting that, you know what, if you can't say you can't speak better English than them, they will use that against you, and they will use big vocabulary that probably you want to go and research on it before you understand what they were trying to say.
Yeah.
So pride is another bad one. Nelson, yes, you are very, very late. We are about signing out, but thank you for joining us. Do rewind. And Coach Pum says another bad behavior is the cold treatment, or what they call the silent treatment, refusing to talk over things. That is a very, very destructive behavior, which we once touched upon in one of our episodes. Silent treatment, refusing to respond. And that really hurts, especially when your spouse wants to talk. And we say that it's different from, communicating with your spouse that I'm not in the right headspace to discuss this issue. You've communicated
for Thursday
or for another time. With silent treatment, I'm refusing to talk to you. I know you want to speak to me. I know I've hurt you, or what you want to say really bothers you, but I don't care. I don't care about your feelings, and I'm just shutting you off.
Yep.
And that again, Gottman says, is one of the predictors of divorce.
Yep.
Yes.
Fadzi says, and always want to have that. Yes, proud people, they're the ones who call the shots. So when it's enough, they have the last word. You can't speak after them. Why? Because they're the main character. So if in a film,
like
in a movie,
if
the main character dies, then the movie is over, isn't it? So once they say everything, the last word, nobody should speak after them. Pride hinders effective communication. You can't communicate with a proud man because he knows everything. He understands that, all knowing. And I'm sorry to say, pride is the office that made Lucifer to leave heaven coming down here. So if you're a proud person, the Bible says you took it from your father, Lucifer. When he wants to lie, he uses his language. When you want to, when a proud person wants to do things, he knows what to do. He knows the buttons to press.
And so the Bible says as well, pride comes before falling. You fall.
If they don't find a fault on you, they look at your parents. Oh, you look at your parents. Oh, look at your work. Oh, look at this. And they are ever, exalting themselves and honoring themselves more than others.
And these are behaviors that can potentially destroy relationships, marriages, or friend relationships. These are things to avoid.
So number one, we said it's
nagging
or
an excessive criticism. Number two is dishonesty. Number three, rigidity.
Headstrong.
Number four, acting single while you're in a relationship. And number five is pride.
Listen, gentlemen, after saying this, we know that this is not an exhaustive list, and there are other points out there which you can bring. If you're going to watch as a replay, would also encourage you to put some other points there so that we can also learn and educate each other as a community. What more shall we say apart from saying thank you so much for giving us your precious possession?
And as you highlighted earlier, we have a guest coming next week by the grace of God, a wonderful man of God. We are looking forward to welcoming him on this platform next week.
Yes. So for me and my beautiful wife, we are signing out. Till we meet again. God bless you.
We love you all.
Love you. Bye.